Ho'oponopono and resisting, I am sorry. In yesterday's video, I shared about one of the most powerful healing modalities I've ever learned about. It's called Ho'oponopono. And I talked about what it was and what makes it such a magical experience and how to use it. I received a question from Kristen yesterday, and she asked, do you have any advice for those that may struggle with ego and the first part of the mantra, I am sorry? How can they get past that roadblock? I think that's a great question, and today I'm going to answer it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. In yesterday's video, I shared that Ho'oponopono was an extremely powerful way to heal relationships, what makes it such a magical experience, and how to use it. If you didn't see that video, I invite you to watch that video for more information on it. I just posted it yesterday. But in a nutshell, Ho'oponopono comes from the position that we must become 100% responsible for all experiences in our life. The most important thing for you to understand is that everything on this planet is energy. Everything. This board is energy. My body is energy. Your body is energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our feelings are energy. Everything is energy. And so if everything is energy, if I'm putting energy out, then everything around us is technically an energetic reflection of what's going on energetically inside of us. In yesterday's video, I shared that each of us has an energy field around us. Every single one of us. And inside of that energy field, we hold on to certain beliefs and judgments about all different things, about different circumstances and about different people. And so when we hold on to these different beliefs and judgments, that goes out into the world, and what we see from the world gets reflected back to us. When I hold on to a belief or a judgment about another person, within me, I am standing in an offensive position, and my energetic field projects that out. And if it's directed at a specific person, that person receives it. And in most cases, what happens? What happens? That person feels that judgment and responds with the same level of energy you're putting out. Suddenly, we're feeling resistance or conflict between each other. This often occurs when we feel like we need to be right, or we need the other person to agree with us, or you have a desire from within for some reason to try and control the other person. This resistance and conflict often escalates and ultimately leads to resentment. Now, to Kristen's point, over time, many people will solve this problem not by saying, I'm sorry, their ego can't handle it, but by simply walking away or ignoring the person or the problem. That doesn't mean that the problem is solved. It doesn't mean that the relationship is healed at all. And although that might work temporarily, it's bound to resurface again, if not with that person, with another. And when it does, the experience is going to likely be worse, because what we're really dealing with here is an unhealed wound from within ourselves. When we ignore and we shove down that energy has to go somewhere. We can't expect to keep shoving it down and shoving it down and shoving it down and ignoring it and think that it has no effect on you. The effect usually shows up in one of two ways. Either over time, the pent-up energy manifests itself in a huge blowout. And in that blowout, there's usually a lot of collateral damage in the relationships involved. Very damaging things get said, and sometimes things even become violent. It's like an emotional volcano that just suddenly erupts without warning. Now, if that doesn't happen, then the unhealed wound from within creates a stress inside that builds and builds and builds. It's like a silent killer that's going on inside. Over time, that pent-up energy comes out in our health and well-being. We have difficulty sleeping. Our eating habits become compromised. We begin taking on other unhealthy habits to help us ignore or soothe the stress from the stuff that we're experiencing from within. Often people become anxious and sometimes even depressed because they begin feeling trapped in their situation. And long term, that stress beats down our immune system. And then that leads us to experiencing other health issues, including different kinds of cancers and heart attacks and a bunch of other things. That energy from within has to come out in some way. We can't keep bottling it up and ignoring it. It will find its way out, and it won't be in a good way if we ignore it. What we need to do is to heal from within, to make a conscious effort of it, and release that energy in a way that doesn't cause any damage to yourself or to others around you. We have to realize that by continuing to blame others is keeping that stress energy and junk alive within us. In blaming others, you are essentially giving your power away. You are continuing to allow another person to have influence and effect on you. But with Ho'oponopono, when you take 100% responsibility for your experience, you begin to take your power back. You surrender the fight or the need to be right for something that is of much more value to you. And that is complete peace and personal freedom from within. It is hard to do because our ego doesn't want to surrender. It doesn't want to say, I am sorry. Our ego wants to be right. It wants to be seen and it wants to be heard. But what we really want inside isn't to be right, seen, or heard. In reality, what we really want is to be understood and to feel connected in that understanding. Understanding doesn't necessarily mean we agree, but we do respect each other. And when we begin to respect ourselves in this way, we can show up in respect of others so much more easily and so much more powerfully. Mutual understanding can never come from a place of resistance and negative thoughts and emotions flying all over the place. Those things just breed more negative energy into our reality. We need to shift from a reactionary stance into a mindful responding, from a more aware understanding of what is really going on within us. Everything we're experiencing around us is an energetic reflection of what's going on energetically inside of us. And so when we practice Ho'oponopono, we take 100% responsibility when we say, I am sorry. It's not just to the other person we're saying I'm sorry, but more to ourselves for giving our power away to someone outside of ourselves. It's then and only then can healing begin, allowing us to begin to fall into a zero state, a state where the negative energy loses all of its charge, a place where there's no limits, no memories, and no ego, and no need to be right. There's no longer any resistance of any kind inside or outside of your being when you begin to think about that person or if you're in their presence. When we get to that state of zero state, we're not projecting out our old beliefs and judgments anymore. What we're projecting out becomes different. So what we receive, what we experience then, is a different reality. When the old beliefs and judgments go unhealed, we carry them forward into new relationships. And so we wind up having the same experience over and over again with different people. And maybe you know someone who has asked themselves the questions, why do I keep attracting people like this into my life? Maybe you're one of those people. The same experience will continue to play over and over until we get the lesson that it's not anybody else, it's us. We are the single common denominator in every experience we have. We are attracting and creating the reality we are experiencing. This is a profound realization, and it's a powerful realization. You are so much more powerful than you can even comprehend. I want you to get this. And so I want to encourage you to stop giving your power away so easily. Own it. Nurture it. Take care of it. Resist being so willing just to give it away. Because as long as you keep giving your power away, just so that you can hold on to some old belief or judgment about someone or something, you will never gain full inner peace or freedom. you will never gain full inner peace and freedom. And isn't that what you really want? Inner peace and freedom? If that is what you really want, give Ho'oponopono a try. Check out the video that I posted yesterday. I share much more on what it is and how to do it. And so I'm curious, what value are you taking from this video today? Please share them in the comments below. I want to be able to support and encourage you in whatever way I can. And lastly, if this video is speaking to you on any level, I just ask that you please pay it forward. Pay it forward by sharing this video with just one other person you think might benefit from it. And so, until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.